All right, we are actually recording right now. All right, welcome to the new sports talk show with Rashid and Barrick.
Yes, Rashid. I'm Barrick.
All right, we're going to get right into it. This should be about a 20 to 25 minute video.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Barrick, take us off.
Well, we're starting off with the Lakers. We got to start with the Lakers because they're a big issue in the NBA right now. And we're talking about LeBron James and his ability to change or affect the team positively or negatively. And the fact the Lakers have missed the playoffs for the sixth straight season. And now he is now deferring the blame to other players. Of course, in the beginning of the season, he wanted a different team. Magic Johnson and Pelinka, they have not been doing a great job of putting this team together. They got rid of players like, for example, Mr. Russell, who's leading things in Brooklyn. And we have a situation in Los Angeles where either LeBron can attract free agents or he can't attract free agents. And that's where our problem is right now with the Los Angeles Lakers. Plus, not the fact of the matter is, you got the LA traffic, got the taxes in LA, and of course the LA law. That's not enough anymore. The Clippers right now are doing a very good job of winning. In fact, they've now qualified for the postseason, where the Lakers have missed the playoffs for 6 straight years. LeBron was asked to come in there and change things. Of course, you got the LeVar Ball going on thing. That's another issue altogether, especially what happened with his father off the court. And obviously, Magic has not been doing his job. Why? Because Magic's been on vacation, hanging on yachts.
Pelinka, well, he does that in the summertime, I'm hearing.
Yeah, he's doing it now, too.
Oh, he's doing it now?
He's doing
really?
it now, too, because now when the heat's picking up, we don't see much of Mr. Johnson.
Do you actually want to blame that on the owner, Jeannie Buss?
Jeannie Buss has come out publicly and said that she really would like to see this situation being ran properly, and it's not entirely on LeBron. Now, that's her words unofficially. I think it does start from the GM. The GM has been hired to organize a team. He put together...
Well, I disagree there because I think it starts from the owner. Because when Magic came to her and say, hey, listen, I can actually do this. I can actually run this team. And what was the plan?
The plan was to go get LeBron.
He got LeBron.
They
put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Well, I mean, first of all, like I said before, a couple minutes ago, you let guys like Russell leave. You let him leave to Brooklyn.
Okay. They had Lou Williams, who's thriving in at the Clippers right now.
With the Clippers.
They let him go.
Okay, the other tenants. And personally, the Clippers, they need to go find their own arena. And I think they're in the business right now of looking for their own arena.
Yeah.
They got to separate themselves from the Lakers.
Yeah.
Got to do it. But, the Clippers are another story in another day. But right now, the Lakers, they are what the NBA needs in terms of they have to not only be relevant, they have to be highly successful.
Yeah.
And the Lakers are missing the playoffs 6 years in a row. That's not helping what NBA wants. The Golden State's doing their thing. But let's be honest. Maybe Golden State's getting a little too tiring right now for most people. People want to see change at the top. That's why Milwaukee's a fresh introduction to what's going on in the East. But again, this is still about the Lakers. And the Lakers are what the NBA needs in terms of them having success and being more than relevant on a year-to-year basis. LeBron was brought in on a 4-year deal. Okay? Now, this is the first year they didn't make the playoffs. Can LeBron attract top-tier free agents in the offseason? That's the real big question.
Well, let's look into this history, though, because when Joe Johnson was released from I think, was he bought out? He was bought out from the Nets. Mm-hmm. He had an option to actually go to Miami or go to Cleveland and win a chip.
Yeah, he went to Miami.
Went to Miami.
Yeah, he went to Miami. He went to South Beach, baby. That's what Stephen A. likes to go to South Beach.
Kyrie Irving left him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to play under him anymore. Paul George, he chose Oklahoma City.
Which is working out for him.
Yeah,
Which is working out for Paul George. Look what he's doing. Yeah, I know you're not going to buy into OKC because you got the issue with Westbrook, but look what Paul George is doing individually. Last night, he scored 21 points in the second half.
He's hurt now. I think both of his shoulders are hurting, or one of his shoulders is hurt.
They'll get straightened out.
What's their seeding right now? They still number 8?
They're 6 seed right now.
Oh, they're 6?
Yeah, 6.
Oh,
yeah.
They're lucky.
They're 6, yeah.
They're lucky.
Yeah, they're teetering in the 6th seed, but I think pretty much after tonight, I think tonight's the last game of the season, and they'll be able to lock it down officially. But, I don't think they're going to come out the first round personally. OKC definitely needs a third player, but
they messed up to the third seed, so they potentially they can actually still.
They might be able to, but here's the thing: we always talked about, do you need a third person in this league to be successful? It might come down to a two. I'm telling you something. Once Kevin Durant leaves Golden State after this season, every team's going to have one or two players, or two players dominant, and that third player may be whoever. Okay. You look back to the Chicago Bull days. You had Michael and Scottie. Who was the third person? We don't know who that third person was. Was it Tony Kukoc? Was it?
It was key role players. Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's what we're going to be going back to once KD leaves Golden State. But we're going to touch that on some other time too. But I think right now the job was to get LeBron into LA.
Okay.
And let LeBron bring in top tier free agents. But see, now the word around the NBA is that maybe nobody want to play with him. He's too demanding. He's too demanding. Everything has got to be his way.
He's a diva. He's like the supermodel, the hot supermodel, and she's throwing that temper tantrums. Not getting what she wants, and then people don't really want to, doesn't want to work with her.
Well,
and I'm looking at Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson because you got to cater to LeBron's strengths. He needs shooters around him, and look who they brought in. You had a 3-point shooter in Brook Lopez, who's actually the fifth leading rim protector in the NBA right now. Plus, he's shooting 38% from 38.3% from three right now.
On York, yeah, he's doing pretty good out there.
Just let him go.
Milwaukee is actually positioning Brook to be in that position to shoot those threes.
Yeah,
Brook don't have to do much but stand there.
Yeah,
and it's working.
Yeah,
I don't know what the scheme was in LA. To post them up, move them outside. They're not too sure what they wanted to do. Now you got guys like Rondo who wasn't consistent. And Rondo was still having problems. I mean, come on. And of course, in the Knicks game, where's LeBron at the end of the bench? Okay? And I bring that up specifically because that showed how much he was caring about this season. Now, people will crucify me or agree. Either one. When I say listen, we do know the reason why LeBron's in L.A. We know LeBron has other ventures. He's a businessman, a good businessman, by the way. All right, he's a very intelligent man. He knows what he's doing. The guy plays life like a game of chess, not checkers. My man's looking 5 steps ahead. I give it to him. But you signed a 4-year deal. The commitment to the LA Lakers is first and foremostly. And if you were brought in by Magic to help lure top-tier free agents, it's going to be Anthony Davis. They botched that up.
But does Anthony Davis actually solve their problems, though?
Well, Anthony Davis provides them two things. He can definitely work well on the block, and Anthony Davis can shoot the rock. He runs the floor well.
Yeah, he's not a high percentage 3-point shooter like that.
But he doesn't have to be.
The only thing I like about him is that he doesn't need the ball to actually be effective.
No, he don't.
I just don't think the fit actually works. When you look at Kevin Love, one of his strengths in Minnesota, he could post up down on the blocks and get you rebounds. Right. And when he came to Cleveland, LeBron turned him into like a catch and shoot 3-point shooter to spread the floor out. So do you actually think that Anthony Davis actually solves their problems though? Or?
He don't solve their problems entirely, but think about it. He's a big man. Who's going to guard him? Another big man. You do what? Take that big man out the block. That creates paths for LeBron and other players to get to the basket. You still need 2 or 3 quality jump shooters from the outside. Yeah. You need a good solid 15-foot jump shooter. A good solid 20-foot jump shooter, and you definitely need a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
You need 3 type of shooters on that floor. And if you got that guy on the outside, at least hitting 35% of his shots from the outside. If AD's on that team and he's hitting 35% of his shots from the outside, and you got LeBron orchestrating things from the perimeter, from the wing, you got a shot to get to, you got a shot to score on at least 80% of your possessions.
Yeah, but does AD actually wants to go from one dysfunctional management situation to another one?
I don't know if LA is a dysfunctional situation entirely.
What?
You gotta sit there and think about this. Magic right now is either doing 2 things. He either doesn't know what he's doing, he's filling out as he goes, he's hopefully being able to learn his job quickly, or he's just not gonna be good at this job. But Jeannie Buss has given Magic the keys to the car for how long? How long? The whole plan, as I can see, and maybe you can see, is bring LeBron in, give him what he wants, and LeBron will bring the players in for us. We're going to find out next season if that's going to work out. This is going to be the biggest offseason in regards to NBA. Once the NBA draft is gone, then we're going to see how the free agent frenzy is going to take place. Okay? Once we have that, we're going to see if the Lakers win out or not. If the Lakers cannot get a top-tier free agent, it was a complete failure.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do. They actually really need a top-tier free agent? Maybe like a B-level player.
Oh, Kemba Walker?
Kemba Walker.
You can get a Kemba Walker
they can
over
offer Kemba a 5th year. More money. And less state taxes.
Well, Kemba's not he's not a restricted free agent. He got an option this year.
Oh, he has an option.
He has an option.
Okay. I thought he was a restricted free agent.
No, he has an option this year. But Kemba can walk if he wants to. He can walk if he wants to. See, and we're gonna go through the other concept too. We're talking about the Lakers. We're talking about the Clippers. Who's the bigger lure? If I'm Kevin Durant, let's see. If I'm okay, Kevin Durant's the big fish. If I'm Kevin Durant, and I know there's about 4 teams at least I know has the available money: the Lakers, Clippers, Brooklyn, Knicks. We know they got money. They got money for 2 max players. And the same concept is going on in LA will probably go on in New York. Because we know the Nets are a better team.
Yeah.
We know the Knicks are trying to figure out what the hell they got to do to get better.
They look better than the Lakers right now, though.
Oh, man.
They really do. I'm surprised to actually say that.
I'm a Knicks fan. I'm going to record and say I'm a Knicks fan, but they got to get rid of Dolan. Dolan's got to sell that team.
He's been relatively quiet though, except for the whole incident with that fan.
What,
right
ban
there.
the fan? But
that
was a setup. That fan was a setup.
Yeah. I mean,
fan was a
he's
setup.
been really, really quiet though. He's been on his really good behavior, staying out the way.
Yeah.
It's Genie that looks really bad right now. I just think the Knicks are actually a better destination than the Lakers. I'm surprised I'm actually saying that.
But do you? I know you're surprised to say. But you think Durant could look good in a Knicks uniform? I think he wants to go somewhere where he knows he's responsible for the success of that team. It could be a good and a bad way to think, but I think that's what today's NBA player is right now.
I think if let's say if you a person that actually brings tremendous value to a company,
right?
But if the owner sucks. You know, we were in a previous employment position.
We can't name names. We can't name names.
Can't name names. But I thought, you know, and you brought a lot of value to the company. I brought a lot of value to the company, but the management somewhat sucked.
They didn't see it the way they needed to see it. They saw us as numbers. They saw us as fill-ins, and that's how they ran their company.
Yeah, and the point is that I don't think it starts from the top, basically. If you have Dolan there and he's actually a cancer, nobody can save the Knicks. That's the thing.
Dolan's paying the checks, man.
He is.
But he hired 2 good guys to run operations. You know? Steve Mills is going to be good. You know, these guys are going to do good. They're going to do good in terms of trying to find the right talent. They're going to do it the way Brooklyn's doing them in a sense because they're going to try to build from the ground up. But you don't got too much ground. That's the unfortunate part about New York. You don't got too much ground. So you are hoping on 2 things. You're hoping on landing Zion, and you're hoping on getting 2 big-time max players, along with the few players you drafted last year, and see if they mesh. The Knicks will get that, man, listen, they'll be the talk of town. And I'm going to tell you something. The Knicks will get these players, and Brooklyn will still get the wins. Because that has to work on the court. You got to get those guys on the same court and have them gel together. It didn't work well in Miami to a degree. The first time they got that big 3 together in Miami, they went to the finals, but they got beat by Dallas. And Dallas didn't have those big-time players. Nowitzki was getting it done. Jason Terry and them boys, they were getting it done. Yeah. They worked together better. They worked together longer, so they beat Miami. It's not going to happen overnight, but Brooklyn's being together now. These guys have been together for a couple of years now. By next year, they're going to be 3 years together, these guys.
Yeah.
You will see them elevate.
Together is one thing, and development is another thing. So
yeah,
how's the Knicks and Lakers? Let's say those 2 teams. They're in player development.
They're in the same boat.
Yeah, they're player development. Well, our guys getting better. Like Ntilikina, has he gotten better from year 1 to year 2 into year 3?
Barely. Okay. Ntilikina still has a gut problem. He's got a gut check problem. I said it. He's got a gut check problem. The man has to know when to drive to the basket and know when to take the shots and know when to find the right man for the high percentage jump shot. He has not done it.
That'll take time, though. I mean,
it's going to take time, but understand.
Young. He's 20.
This is Phil Jackson hire. This is a Phil Jackson. But why? Because they thought they were going to do the triangle. This is what he thought the guy would be able to run the triangle. Well, Phil Jackson's going. There's no triangle, and yet he's still there. I feel bad for Ntilikina in a sense because now you got 2 different systems. You know?
Yeah.
And he's got to find a way to see
but that's his strength is actually
I think he's a good hold down point guard where he'll make the passes. He'll get his available jump shots when it's time. I just don't see him driving to the basket often. I think that's his biggest knock. He doesn't drive to the basket often. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end. Defensively, he's pretty good. But I do think at the end of the day, he'll be able to have good X's and O's. He'll know where the pass is supposed to go. Not like Jason Kidd back in the days, but he'll know where the ball's supposed to go.
Okay.
And he'll get his shots available because of it. Because somebody double double teams on the block, he should have enough room to take a jump shot. It'll be there for him. Yeah. But he does need to read the defense better in regards to saying, well, if the jump shot ain't there, the pass or coming off the swing or setting a high screen, pick and roll. If none of that's there, my man, you got to drive to the basket. At least
well, it depends. It depends on how they actually defended him.
They're not defending him at
all. If they have a zone defense there and you don't have shooters, the defense can just pretty much sag back.
They're sagging. Not having been playing the Knicks that way recently. To be quite honest, they have other guys taking jump shots. It's not Lakina now, okay? Yeah. But I mean, at some point now, you figure he will fit into the equation, hopefully, or maybe he'll be a good bench player if and then they get these two top tier players. Now, again, you look at LA, you look at the Knicks, they're the brands.
Okay,
they're the brands. They have the Knicks play on 33rd Street and 7th Avenue. The Lakers play in downtown Los Angeles. So it's the Clippers. But the Clippers have never been the lure. They're just the Clippers.
Yeah.
The Nets, they came from Jersey. They moved to Brooklyn. They changed their whole color scheme. They changed their whole identity. They had a good run. Things didn't work out. They built from the ground up. Now they're back to getting to the playoffs. It's the first time they've been to the playoffs since 2014.
Yeah.
Okay? Congratulations to the Brooklyn Nets. They're a 6th seed. They'll be playing Philadelphia because Philadelphia is locked in that 3rd seed. And that's going to be an interesting series. I think if they can block down on Simmons, they'll win that series. Simmons is not going to beat them on the outside. But anyway, we'll touch that at some other point.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the playoff previews in a couple of days.
Yeah, but, I mean, ultimately, the Brooklyn Nets are the other team. Okay, I know that's your team, but let's look at the whole landscape. The Knicks are the Knicks. They play at Madison Square Garden. They play in Midtown Manhattan, and Brooklyn's playing in downtown Brooklyn. But they're in the playoffs. They're the ones that got the better team. Clippers, they next door. They're the tenants that live in the building where the Lakers own. Okay, in a sense.
True, yeah.
But the Clippers are the better team. So if you're a top-tier free agent, a la KD, are you going for the brand or are you going for the better team? And that's the question. That's going to be the question until we know what KD's going to do. I feel like he's leaving Golden State.
If you're Kevin Durant, where would you go?
I would go somewhere where I know I can get the money. I'll have a couple of players to help me out, and I will be the guy in charge.
Okay.
I'll be the guy that's most directly responsible for the success of where that team is going. And what would you do that? Okay, you can go to the Clippers. When's the last time they won a championship? Oh, I don't know. When? Never? Okay, so if I go to the Clippers and they win a title and Staples and Magic and Kobe and all them Laker greats are sitting on the side watching this happen, man, that'd be something. If he came to New York and he took the Brooklyn job, okay, you won in Brooklyn, but you got Russell here, you got Crab, you got all the guys here, you got great supporting cast around you. If he goes to the Knicks got nobody. If he helped them win, he'd be crowned if not the greatest.
Yeah.
And I don't listen. I'm not close to KD. We don't know KD's thinking, but KD has made it clear that he hasn't made it clear, but people close to him have said, listen, after this season he's done.
Wow,
he's done. Do I think Golden State's going to break up? I'm going to go on a limb and I'm going to say yes, they are. I think KD's gone.
So you don't think the new the downtown San Francisco building, you don't think that sways him in any way, or maybe Steph Curry actually convinces him to stay because he's really like the real ultimate glue guy for that team. He keeps that team.
I think they've done a lot better with Steph on the court than they did without Steph on the court. We know that.
Yeah.
Their record shows that way. I don't think that's where Kevin Durant's thinking is. I still think there's something going on between him and Draymond Green.
Yeah.
And I think it's really become a little poison pill in the locker room. And I know if I come to work one day and I can't stand looking at somebody, I want to get the hell up out of there.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay? I want to get the hell up. But that's just me talking. I'm not saying that's what's going on in that locker room, but every once in a while, there's always been something involving Draymond Green saying something about, well, I think he's going. If he goes, he goes. He stays, he stays. You make a comment like that? This is a guy that helped you win 2 NBA titles since he arrived.
Yeah.
That tells me something's popping inside there.
No, it's true, man. I definitely do agree with you.
But at the end of the day, the Lakers are the prime targets.
So would you actually, if you're the management of Golden State, would you get rid of Draymond? Do you find him actually replaceable? Because I think with Draymond, you can actually go 5 out with him, and he, in terms of switching, he can actually guard, 1 through 5.
It's kind of the old-fashioned thing. Draymond was there first. Michigan State product. Yeah, Draymond came from Michigan State, so Tom Izzo and them boys, they taught him well. Man learned how to play. He was a good scorer at Michigan State University. And he brought it in. Listen, his three-point shooting has disappeared. But he is a great defensive player on the block.
Yeah. And
he can run the ball. He can run the floor very well. He's got good basketball IQ, especially on defensive. He's very communicative on the defensive end. I don't think you want to get rid of a player who helps you on the defensive end. This year, Golden State has not been that good on defense. Last year they were.
I just don't think they're putting that much into it. I mean, they blew out the Clippers last night to actually secure that number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So I think they can actually turn it on when they want to turn it on.
I think that's what they've been doing. They've been on cruise control for a while, but we're talking about, okay, we know they're going to win the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barring any injuries. We have to put that disclaimer
or
in there.
suspension by Draymond Green at some point in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have Boogie, though.
Yeah, but Boogie's a liability on defense.
Yeah.
And you're still trying to find a real consistent way of giving Boogie the ball. Now, Boogie can shoot that rock from the outside. That goes and saying, well, we're going to bring your big man out because he's going to have the ball because Boogie can play the 5.
Yeah, he can.
Okay? Sabonis, Lane Bear, all these guys in the past that were big men, their game was on the outside. They rarely were in the block. And that big man had to come out and follow them. That's why, especially with Detroit, I talk about Bill Lane Bear. Let's go way back to the late 80s, late 80s and all that. But Lane Bear, he was a great three-point shooter. And you had Isaiah and Dumas. They were getting into the basket all the time, brother. The lane was open.
Yeah.
And you had Robin and Sally and them boys, Mahorn, they had to clean up. And it never goes away. And you talk about Brooklyn. Brought up Brook Lopez earlier. The ability to shoot that rock from the outside, that brings the opposing big man out.
It does, yeah.
Middleton and them boys are going to have a good time. Listen, I don't think everything's going to be in the playoffs for these guys in Milwaukee.
Wait, you said Middleton, so you're actually picking the Bucks to get to the finals?
I like them to go to the finals. I don't think they're going to get there, but I would like them to go there. I think it'd be an interesting matchup if they do go, because Milwaukee's a big team. They're really a big team, and it could cause some problems in regards to length and height for Golden State if it got to that point. But I just don't think Milwaukee's going to come out that Eastern Conference. I think they'll get out the first round. That's for a fact. But they'll probably want to play in Detroit, who's coming in the playoffs limping. And they'll get to the second round, and being that they're the first seed, they'll play the winner of the second or the 7th seed.
Yeah.
And that would be Toronto, more or less.
Yeah.
Actually, they'll get the winner of the second or third team, because the 2 is going against the 7, and 3 is going against the 6.
Yeah.
So I think they'll get the 3-6 winner.
Yeah.
And
so that'll be the Nets or the 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. And who knows? Brooklyn might catch lightning on the bottle and get out that second round too. You never know.
They have. Well, listen.
And I know you want to see that happen.
That's my team, man. But I have to be pragmatic, man. I really have to be pragmatic. I do. We'll touch into that in a couple of days. The regular season ends Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll look at the playoff previews, and it's going to have to be. I still think a lot of the Brooklyn Nets players, like Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, they have a lot of holes in their games that has to be filled either this summer or the following summer, because it takes a couple of years.
Give LeVert some time, and he missed some time.
Yeah, he looks good the last couple of games, man, but he still has to prove that he can actually hit an outside shot.
He's got some energy going. I can say that
he
much.
Does.
He got some energy going. You need his aggression against the boys and all that. Loose balls. This is what's going to happen in the playoffs now. You can't just stand around stagnated, just waiting for a shot to go up and hope to get the rebound. You got to go after that ball. You got to create turnovers, stay out of foul trouble, And you got to make key shots. If you can't make the shot, drive to the basket, get to the free throw line.
Listen, you could, if you can't shoot, they have to. If they're playing a zone defense, it's kind of really hard to drive. Though.
It's gonna be hard to drive,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
mean, I'm just wondering.
You haven't,
Is Philly gonna zone up the Nets in this first round?
Well, I know Brooklyn will definitely zone up Philadelphia.
Well, you would have to because knowing Simmons can't shoot.
Yeah. Or
Simmons
hit
can't
free
shoot.
throws. I think
Or hit
he's
free
shooting
throws.
like 68% from the free throw line.
Yeah,
That's
so you're
abysmal.
gonna rely on Redick and Embiid and the boys. You're gonna rely on them to cut the points because, I mean, listen, Simmons is a great offensive player in regards to reading defense. He's a great passer. He can get to the basket, but he's gotta nail some shots.
Yeah.
And this is the playoffs now. 2-3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. This is where the playoffs get really hot right there. The game's competitive. Hitting the last 2.5, 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
That's when you gotta-
it's not
Woo!
mostly blowouts or anything like that. It's going to come down to 5-10 points. I had Alec Crabbe as my X factor with Brooklyn in terms of probably going far.
Yeah.
But he's hurt. He has some arthroscopic knee surgery, so he's. For his career, he shoots 42% from catch and shoot threes.
Who's the other 3-point shooter you got on that team?
You got Joe Harris.
You got Kurutz.
Yeah, he's not Rodion Kurucs.
Kurutz, right. So, you got guys that can hit the basket from the out.
They
Listen,
can hit threes, yeah.
I mean, Brooklyn can stretch the floor. Okay? They can stretch the floor. My concern about Brooklyn's getting the defensive stops they need to get in the end of the game. I've seen problems with that. I like your man Allen playing the rim protector. He is going to be a great shot
Can't
blocker.
be everywhere, yeah.
But he can't be all over the floor. Okay?
Yeah.
At some point in time, Brooklyn's going to have to get them stops in the end. Now, they playing the first 2 games in Philly. I think they're going to split in Philly. Then they're going to split in Philly. Then they're getting game 1. I don't know if they're going to get game 1 or game 2, but I think Brooklyn's going to split in Philly. Get the home court edge back to Brooklyn. And we're going to find out if Brooklyn can put the foot on the gas pedal and then take this whole series. I think they can beat Philly. They match up well with Philly. I think they can beat Philly, but they got to get defensive stops, and you got to make sure that Simmons don't beat you. He can't make the jump shots. What you don't want him is driving and dishing. You don't want him creating
that's
havoc.
his strength. Yeah.
That's what you got to take that strength away from him. You talked a lot about taking the player's strength away from that.
Yeah.
You got to take that strength away from Simmons.
Yeah.
You do that, I think it can be Philly. It can be Philly in 5-6 games. Embiid's gonna be listen. Embiid's gonna be tough. You can't forget about Redick. He's gonna hit them 3-point shots. He's big time in the playoffs. Redick's big time.
Yeah,
In the
they
playoffs.
would have to normally playoff teams go with a 7 to 9 man rotation. But I think if you're going to play against the Greek Freak, Giannis, if you're going to play against Joel Embiid, you have to go to probably 11, 12 man rotation because you're going to have to foul him and put him on the line, get physical. We'll see. In the playoffs, the referees let more go. It's a totally different season, and we'll see.
I would say this though: the NBA playoffs is going to be off the hook. The NBA draft is going to be off the hook, and the NBA offseason free agency is going to be off the hook.
Well, I think the first couple of selections from the draft.
The first 4 selections.
But I don't know about the rest of it, though.
Well, listen. I watched some college ball, and there's some great players coming out. You got Jai Morant. He got him coming out.
Yeah.
You got R.J. Barrett. You got Zion. The Cam Reddish. He's a third piece of Duke.
That's another thing we have to touch on is the draft. What players should be picked and who goes where. And
Zion's going to be the first pick of the last. I can tell you right now. Just took a little dab at it. He's the big fish. But Zion's going to have to develop a jump shot. But he can get to the basket, bro. He can defend. Man, he can fly. Listen, the guy can do practically everything except if he can at least hit 35% from the outside, man, forget about it.
That's going to take time.
It's going to take time, but forget about that. Boy is going to tear up the NBA.
Yeah.
If the Knicks got him and got 2 major. But see, look, the Knicks got the worst record. The Suns got the second worst record. Zion can wind up in Phoenix. Zion can wind up in Chicago. These are teams that got top. These are teams that got the worst records in basketball.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll touch base on that. Listen, this is our sports talk show. We kind of jumped from one topic to another. This is our first show. It's Rashid and I's first show. We really want to touch more on the Lakers situation. I think the Lakers situation is kind of fizzing out a bit because the playoffs are about to begin by the end of this week. And we're all getting ready for that. And we know the Lakers are supposed to be there. LeBron's supposed to be in the playoffs. He's been in the playoffs for the last 8 years straight. NBA Finals for the last 8 years, to be exact. And he's not going to be in the postseason this year. It's going to be kind of strange without LeBron in the postseason this year. But I do think Milwaukee being in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. We got Brooklyn back in the playoffs. We got Orlando. They clinched in the playoffs last night as well. They got some fresh meat in the postseason. Eastern Conference is not the weakest conference as much as it used to be. It's pretty strong now. Toronto's looking good. All right, Philly, we talked about Philly. We think Philly is pretty good. We ain't talking about that 4-5 seed. We talk about Boston, Indiana right now.
That's going to be a boring matchup, though.
It might be. It might be a tug of war. It might be a tug of war. We don't know. We don't know what to expect from Boston. People are still talking about Boston coming out the East. Yeah. It wouldn't be too far-fetched if they did. It wouldn't be too far-fetched.
No, I mean, they're actually my pick to actually come out the East. So
my question with Toronto is you still got your man playing guard. You got your man Lowry playing guard, and he has not been a playoff kind of guy. Okay, so he's my question.
He ran into LeBron. Let's see what happens with no LeBron James there. So let's see, he's very miniature, as Stephen A. Smith would say, a miniature.
Okay, well, DeRozan's in San Antonio, and Lowry stayed in Toronto. So apparently, I go with this logic: if you get rid of one or two guys and keep one of them, I guess the one you got rid of was the person you probably felt like he wasn't going to help you win.
Yeah.
The one you kept, you felt like he could. So you're figuring, okay, all right, let's go with your theory. LeBron was in the way. Michael Jordan's been in a lot of people's way. Okay?
That's
so
true. Yeah.
I wouldn't knock it down. But if Lowry's going to be that guy, this will be the year to do it. Because he can't do it this year. He got nothing to do with LeBron. He just ain't the guy. And watch, at some point, Lowry's going to be gone.
Yeah, they can actually Toronto could actually use an upgrade at the point.
So my questions are at the top. Milwaukee's young. They're raw. We know what's going on with them. We don't expect them to come out the East. We do expect them to come out the first round, but we don't expect them to come out the East. Boston still look like that team that can catch lightning, catch fire at any time, lightning in a bottle at any time, and take off. Kyrie is going to have to defer to his teammates a lot more often. He's going to have to. Oh, we got to get rid of that call. We're not taking calls right now. All right. But he's going to have to defer to his team. He got to defer to Rozier and Brown, them boys, and Smart and Tatum. Even Horford's going to step up.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Al Horford is supposed to be a glue guy who provides savvy veteran leadership. And he seems relatively quiet. It's like, you got to talk to Kyrie. Hey, listen, you got to use your team here. And we'll see what happens, though. I think they'll actually get it together. But I'm not counting out Boston, though. They're actually like my, I would say, dark horse team. They're not, because everybody actually projects them to actually probably come out the East, though. But it's very interesting, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting situation. We're looking forward to it. Now, listen, again, this is our first show, and we kind of jumped around a bit. Lakers was supposed to be the number one topic. We wanted to kind of just throw some sprinkles about the team. Next week, when we do our next show, we're going to be homing more on the playoff picture. It'll be set and official by Wednesday, and we'll break down every series, and we'll talk about other topics that come along the way as well. And we hope that everyone tunes in, because we really love what we're doing about the sports talk stuff. Basketball is going right now. It's doing very well right now. This is what the NBA wanted. Well, I'm not going to get too caught in the politics, but this is what they wanted. They wanted to be premium prime right now, and they're going to be. Even when the season ends, NBA is going to be on top. So
absolutely, man. So Zion, I think he'll play in summer league. So absolutely.
Yeah, and if those guys, him and John, all those boys are playing in the summer league, summer league rating is going to go up.
Absolutely.
So basketball is really heading in the direction it needs to head in. Every league competes against each other. NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball, NHL, 4 major sports. Sorry.
Well, speaking of the NFL, don't they have some competition with the XFL coming pretty soon? Or?
Well, competition is always going to be there. I think Vince McMahon is going. We can jump on that when the XFL gets into a full range. And listen, Vince McMahon's running things over there. He's a smart businessman. You see what he's doing with wrestling. The WrestleMania was big time last night. The ratings were off the hook. They got brand new heavyweight champions over there. I mean, they breathing life and fresh air into that league. And, Vince McMahon's doing his thing. So he waited about a year and a half to get the XFL back up and strong, get supporters, get the infrastructure together there, so they won't have the same problems that the Alliance of American Football had. They had no structure, okay? The infrastructure was weak to a point where you had to have players pay for their own plane ride back and forth to games.
Yeah, leagues are actually really hard, man.
So
they had a professional pool tournament, the IPT back in 2005, and I thought that league was actually well financed, and it just pretty much imploded with it.
It's really hard to do
hard,
it.
yeah.
But that just goes to what you just asked about the XFL. Vince McMahon is looking at what everyone else is doing, and he's not going to do that. I'm going to let you have yours. I'm going to sit here another year and wait. American Alliance of Football had 8 games. They had a 10-game regular season, plus they were supposed to have 3 weeks of playoffs.
Okay.
They only did 8 weeks. They had to basically ceased the league right now. Now, they also said if they were to get back into full swing, they would have to start from the ground up again. They can't continue where they left off. They got to start from the ground up again.
Do you actually see them getting like NFL caliber players over there?
The NFL rejects.
Because you have like in terms of this is not YouTube where you can actually just wing it and then get better and get better. I think it's like you have to knock it out the park the first time.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to, but. See, they had a league called the USFL back in the days in the late 80s. That did pretty good. They had about 2 years. And, of course, there was a large amount of speculation that your man, Mr. Number 45, Donald Trump, who owned the New Jersey Generals at the time, that's why he has a big issue with football, by the way, because it didn't quite work out for him when the USFL is in full effect. All right. You had that going on. And, I think at the end of the day, the American Alliance of Football will come back, but they'll be a lot smarter and stronger next time. But Vince McMahon has decided I'm going to lay back and do my thing and build. But as far as your question, do I think NFL players will go to the AAF?
NFL caliber players. I'm not saying actual NFL players.
I don't think anybody
NFL caliber.
I don't think these leagues are that strong enough to have the drafting concept. The college players will go directly to the NFL. And I think the players who don't make these teams are going to branch off.
Okay.
And I think the XFL will have their own players, I think, start off, because there's some players that haven't played in a year or two. They may have some guys set up already. Maybe some guys from the AAF might go to XFL. We don't know how that's going to work. I haven't gotten anything on paper where I can say that's working. But in terms of draft, college to pros, it's going to be collegiate players going to the NFL. They got about 3 or 4 weeks to make the team. If they can't make the team, they'll be cut. And those guys are like, okay, I'll go to one of the leagues.
Do you see Johnny Manziel actually coming to either one of those?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I do. Johnny football can ball. Problem with Johnny Manziel was he put too much in the offseason. He could throw the ball down the field. Okay? He can read defenses. To a degree. Problem with Johnny Manziel, he doesn't go off his first read. He don't go through his progressions enough. And if he doesn't see the player open on the first initial, he's ready to run. Sometimes he's running right into a brick wall. But I think Johnny Manziel is a legitimate good quarterback. I mean, he has a name. He has a little star power. You can use that for your league. Hey, we got Johnny Manziel quarterback in one of our teams. He was in the CFL, Canadian Football League.
Yeah, but that was only like two, 3 games.
Yeah, he didn't last that long up there because everything I just described happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he threw like 2 pick sixes. That means he threw an interception. The defensive player ran it back to the touchdown. Twice in one game. So you're not going to be able to stand on many teams when you do it. Johnny, have confidence in your front 5. Go through your progressions. Look for the open man. If you're not down and stop looking down the field the damn time. Check it down 3 or 4 yards. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. Lift your next down. Johnny, you'll be all right. But I think he'll be in the league. I do think he'll be in one of these 2 leagues. He has enough star power, enough football ability to do so.
And such.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll be all right.
Okay.
But other than that, that's the way it works. But yeah, we're going to be going.
We're going to wrap this up right now.
Yep.
We should come back either Wednesday or Thursday with another video. We'll probably touch on the Eastern Conference, Western Conference playoff previews and analyze those what actually will play out, and we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's gonna be good to go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
All right.